You call me all friendly, telling me how much you miss me. That's funny, I guess you've heard my songs. Well, I'm too busy for your business. Go find a girl who wants to listen. Cause if you think I was born yesterday, you have got me wrong. So I cut you off, I don't need your love. Cause I already cried enough, I've been done, I've been moving on since we said goodbye. I cut you off, I don't need your love, so you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. I remember that weekend when my best friend caught you creeping. You blamed it all on the alcohol. So I made my decision, cause you made your bed, sleep in it. Play the victim and switch your position. I'm through, I'm done. So I cut you off, I don't need your love, cause I already cried enough. I've been done, I've been moving on since we said goodbye. I cut you off, I don't need your love, so you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. I see you trying to get to me, I see you begging on your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. So stop trying to get to me, get up off your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck about you. No, I don't give a damn. You keep reminiscing on when you were my man, but I'm over you. Now you're all in the past. You talk all that sweet talk, but I ain't coming back. Cut you off, I don't need your love, so you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. Too late now. Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. Boy, I don't give a fuck. I see you trying to get to me, I see you begging on your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. So stop trying to get to me, get up off your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. You call me all friendly, telling me how much you miss me. That's funny, I guess you've heard my songs. Well, I'm too busy for your business. Go find a girl who wants to listen. Cause if you think I was born yesterday, you have got me wrong. So I cut you off, I don't need your love, cause I already cried enough. I've been done, I've been moving on since we said goodbye. I cut you off, I don't need your love, so you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. I remember that weekend when my best friend caught you creeping. You blamed it all on the alcohol. So I made my decision, cause you made your bed, sleep in it. Play the victim and switch your position. I'm through, I'm done. So I cut you off, I don't need your love, say goodbye. I cut you off. I don't need your love, so you can try all you want. Your time is up. I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. 'Cause if you think I care about you now, well, boy, I don't give a fuck. I see you trying to get to me. I see you begging on your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. So stop trying to get to me. Get up off your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck about you. No, I don't give a damn. You keep reminiscing on when you were my...
Bada boom.
Boom! Here we are. We are
Boom.
live. Where's Carlos from Miami Elite Soft Wash? He is a late arrival. He agreed to come on with us and talk about starting up only a few minutes ago. Carlos, welcome. And then, is he muted? No, he's good. Check your sound.
I was just
Yeah, that'd be
wondering
good.
if you guys could hear me all right, guys.
We can hear you. Hey, give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to explain what is Service Six Sigma, and then we'll come in with you, okay?
Absolutely.
So
Let's do it.
this is just how we roll. So anybody who's joining us now sort of go, what's Service Six Sigma, right? This is how it is. It's for the service industry. So it's a pressure washing, window cleaning, roof washing, soft washing, carpet cleaning, anything which is a service industry, right? We're talking about, we're actually talking about from 0 to 1, like starting up and how to grow a business and what are the different aspects of the business. The Six Sigma part is actually a business term. It's the process of perfecting a business by eliminating errors. And errors, obviously, errors. When you get to the Six Sigma part, it's errors that you don't expect. It's not the stuff that you think is coming. It's the unexpected stuff. And then you start building systems and processes to eliminate the risk of those things happening. So that's the Service Six Sigma, the long journey of perfecting a business. And then what we've done, we've broken the business down into 6 sectors of Sigma, so we know what to focus on, and we've made it easy. So the first part is attract. How to attract a customer. That's the local influencer, the marketing, the banners, the super cool shirt you've got on, all that kind of stuff. Like get the customer to see us. Then we want to convert the customer. So it's A for attract, C for convert. So that's the sales process, the responsive bids, the automation or on or Google Earth, or how do we contact the customer and turn them into a closed quote, right? So we can invoice them. Then now that we've got them to agree to give us the money, we want to deliver the service. That's the tools and techniques, the route management, the on-site safety inspections, all that sort of stuff. That's ACD. And the last part is C for control, ACDC. So it's easy to remember. ACDC, Stairway to Heaven. Here we go. So the control is all your admin systems and processes, training manuals, SOPs, everything like that. And so now we've got all of this. Once you've got all of that, you can scale. That's where you go to multiple trucks, multiple employees. That's recruiting trucks, frequency, route management of multiple trucks, booking jobs. There's a load of stuff in there. And then once you've scaled, the 6th sector we think is giving back. Like once somebody's helped you get there, then you help other people get there, because life is a journey and everybody's life ends and somebody else's life is on the way up. And the more we give back, it makes the world go round. So that is my pitch, Carlos. And now we are live with you. And I'm just so you know, I'm going to be leaving at about 1:15 because my boy has a broken leg and his cast needs to be taken off, and the hospital booked me in a little bit inconveniently, should we say. But you are in safe hands with the Mr. Ben Bergloff.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I just wanted to
Well,
make
Carlos
sure
and
that
I
you guys
have
could
been,
hear me okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we
Carlos
can
and I
hear you
have been
okay,
calling each
for
other for
sure.
some time now. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Listen, guys, first of all, thank you guys for having me on. For me, it's a big pleasure, man. Um, as a as a fairly new entrepreneur into the game, I can say that we've escalated our business. We've already maximized it to the max. I've also learned a lot from Ben, man. I can tell that Ben is not a shy person in front of cameras. So I'm actually a fair a witness of that, and I'm me myself. I'm not shy of cameras, and I think that's what's helped us out a lot. Marketing, as what you
Yeah.
just said. Besides the cool shirts, besides the wrap trucks, things like that, marketing does go a long way. But man, I'm so excited to be here. It's a great industry. We actually do the soft wash aspect. I know that you were mentioning, like the carpet cleaning, the window cleaning. We actually focus a lot on the soft wash side here in Miami.
Nice. Yeah. So when we talk about the other services, like if you've got a friend in another industry that is in a service industry, mention service6sigma.com to them and say, dude, you might pick something up out of this. And later on, what our plan is, we'll start having, carpet cleaners on, not because we want to do carpet cleaning, but because there's gems of what they do. If we can cross pollinate the service industries, the stuff they've got down, you know like I talked to Ben offline about the $99 guy. The pressure washing industry hates the $99 guy, but the carpet cleaning industry is all $99 guy, and he walks out with $400 or $500 every time. Right? You sign them up as a
Absolutely.
$99 come and clean my house, so they're upselling in the carpet cleaning industry, and the guys that bag out the $99 guy in pressure washing may have got no idea whether these guys are advertising 99 and walking out with 1,000. You know, there's there's a business model everywhere. It's not all bucket bob. We call them bucket bobs in window cleaning. They went off to Home Depot and grabbed a bucket and
Absolutely. I mean, we are in South Florida, overpopulated Miami. So when I say competition is left and right, I literally mean it. Every day I am seeing, ads pop up of new pressure washing companies, soft washing companies. And I always tell anybody who asks me, is it a great time to start? Is it a good time to start? My answer is yes. It's always a great time to start. It's like I give always does this example. Would I not open up a restaurant on South Beach, on Miami Beach? Wow, there's so many restaurants. Yes, but what is your restaurant going to bring to the table? What type of food are you going to serve? What type of steak?
nice.
You see, like
Yeah.
why would I not open a restaurant on Ocean Drive, even though there's already 100 other restaurants? What is yours gonna bring to the table? How are you gonna make the difference?
Wow. Spot on.
Absolutely.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Well done. You couldn't have said it better. Like, this, and it is anything to do with cleaning is an exciting industry. Like I like doing what you don't like doing, right? That's a good place to start.
Yeah, always,
So
always.
you're gonna pay me to do the things you don't want to do, so you can use your time, your life, to do the things you do want to do. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Let me tell you guys and share with you guys one of my testimonies. I have always been scared of heights. Me and heights do not get along. And when I jumped into this field, one of the things I had to, overcome was the fear of heights. And I was like, man, how am I going to do this? So I got on my first roof, which was my own roof, and I started getting familiarized with it. And man, let me tell you, I see it just like that. I'm doing something that nobody else likes to do. Nobody else likes walking on roof. Nobody else likes being on, high buildings
Yeah.
or like two-story floors. So I'm getting paid to do what nobody else likes to do. I'll take it
There
any
you go.
day. I'll
Yeah.
take it any day.
It's a pitch. I mean, I know there are guys who do, crime scene cleanups and stuff like that. Like, like, that's taking it to the extreme of like,
That's a tough
doing what
one.
nobody else.
That's a tough one.
Wow. I don't want to
Somebody
do that.
has to
I would
do it.
never.
Somebody
Yeah.
has to do
Yeah.
it.
So, but that's taking that whole thing, like I'm doing what nobody else wants to do, to the extreme. Like,
So when it comes
Well, do you want
into,
to?
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so I'm just reading here, starting from zero. To me, this is a very, very great subject topic. Little background about myself: I was a store manager for a retail company for 10 years of my life. And
wow.
and I can honestly tell you, taking that leap of faith was not easy. It was not something that happened overnight. So I knew I was meant to be something bigger. I was meant to be my own boss. I was meant to be an entrepreneur. I was meant to make my own schedule
Wow.
as a married person with kids. I have two daughters and one boy, and I was like, man, I am meant to be at home with them on the weekends, not here at the mall,
Mm.
working.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just long story short, guys, I started seeing this like thing on like TikTok, and for some people it's like, wow, like you could really make $1,000 per day. I was like, no way. So it was December 24, 2021. I called my district manager. I was like, hey boss, listen, I'm turning it in my keys. He's like, what are you talking about? Yes sir, I'm turning in my keys. I don't know where this is headed, but it's gonna go somewhere. you know and from there, man, we just started the door knocking. That's how I got my feet wet. I've never been a shy person. I'm not scared of the word no. Okay, have a great day. Maybe your neighbor might need my service, and then you're gonna call me right back when you see how amazing their house looks.
Abs-
And man, it's just been amazing, man. It has been amazing. But we are doing more than just soft washing now. We've jumped into paver sealing. We've jumped into house painting here in Miami. Maybe not at home where
Yep.
you guys are from, but the roof painting industry is taking off to another level. So we've already added that to our service as well.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's
Wow. Wow.
great.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Hey Ben,
And I've
I
been.
I think I
Yeah.
can I think I can bail now, right? Like Carlos is amazing.
Yeah.
You've got you've
Yep.
got. Did you say you've got John in the green room?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. So
We'll bring
Carlos,
him on
John
too.
John is also a startup guy, and you guys can have a conversation about
Absolutely.
just share. You got an hour to
Absolutely.
talk shit, bro. So just get into it, and
Let-
you can talk with John about what his ideas are, and you can talk to Ben, and then also and also think about the audience and say, okay, well, if I was to give advice to anybody, to get out of their middle management store job, or whatever like that,
Absolutely.
what is it, like that's what we want to explore, so that anybody, the people that are listening, I've already been there and go, yeah, what I mean, like I've done what you're doing, in my life, right? Also father of multiple children, and you know heavy bills at a young age and all that. So I completely relate to you. And then so there's going to be people like that who are going to be able to reflect and say, yeah, this guy's doing it. And then also the people who haven't done it yet, maybe one day will come across, like you came across TikTok. Somebody will come across Service Six Sigma, and then this will be the one where they say, doing it. Okay.
I'm out of here.
That's great.
Great speaking to you and great meeting you. Okay.
No, you stay here. Yeah, only I'm
No.
going.
No, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then welcome to John Etter. How are you, John?
I'm doing fantastic. Always.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Great. All right. Yeah. We pulled Carlos on because
Yeah.
he couldn't find you, but you're here now, so I'm going to bail. My boy needs to get his he broke his leg, so he's got to get his cast replaced. So I will get him to the hospital now. And Ben, good luck.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, I'm signing. Can you sign me out?
Yep. Okay, there he goes. All right, how are you, John?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just rushing back from a job
Good.
site, and yeah, just tried to
Oh,
get here right at
nice.
well as early as I could, but yeah, it just happened to be right at
Yeah.
6.
What time is it there right now?
6:13.
Okay.
So yeah,
So do you want
it's
to tell everybody how you started your business and how you got into it? What were you doing? What were you doing before?
um yeah, yeah. So I my story is a little bit different. Um, I've been working for myself in just different things for the last since about 2012. Um, I've had some retail stores, and I was in some different industry. And I mean, just kind of long story short on that, I was in the vape industry, the electronic cigarette industry, as a manufacturer and a retailer. And then, we there came a day where it looked like the entire industry was going to get shut down, and we decided to just kind of cash out and just get out of that space. And then I was kind of sitting around for a few months, kind of not doing anything, really, really just kind of like sad and like depressed because it's really hard when you fail at business. And when you start something and you fail, you can kind of accept that. But when you start something and it's doing really well, we were making millions of dollars revenue, and the business were doing a lot of money. When it fails because somebody put you out of business, it does something to you. So it kind of broke me for a little bit, and I was kind of sad and depressed. And then I had a little electric pressure washer, one of those little Sunjoy pressure washers. And I tell my son, because he asked me for some money, and I don't give away free money. I say, well, why don't you go earn some? So I told him, go outside, talk to the neighbors, and say, I'll pressure wash your driveway for $50. Well, I'm a lifelong salesperson. So I've been doing sales my entire life. I've been doing marketing for the last 14 years, 14, 15, gosh, longer than that, 15 years now. Um, and he comes back and everybody said yes. So he had bagged a couple jobs, and I'm like, okay, the sales guy is in me is like, if everybody's saying yes, the price is too low. So because of that, I was like, all right, let's look into this. So I go on YouTube, I do some market research, and I find I mean, I think I was finding like Cody from Southeast Soft Wash. Forever Self-Employed was on there. I was watching him. Um, I just found different influencers who were kind of doing their thing, talking about this industry, and I was like, okay, there's something to this. I started calling different pressure washing companies locally, and I said, hey, can I get a quote? Just doing market research. They're like, we're booked out 2 weeks. We're booked out 3 weeks. We're booked out. I'm like, holy hell, everybody's booked out. Okay, there's money in this. There's opportunity in this. It's not too crazy hard. You know, like, let's do it. Let's fuck it. Let's go for it. So I took about $3,000 and I said, all right, let me play around with this. I didn't know anything about equipment or anything. I had put $1,000 into equipment, and I put $2,000 into marketing and sales. And then, we just kind of grew from there. I started to learn more. I started to understand more. I started understanding where I was messing up, what I was doing wrong. And, I, I was one of those guys. I didn't struggle in this industry. We did 10,000 right away, like in our first month. There was no growth period. We do 30, 40,000 now. There was no growth period for me in this, because I come from sales and marketing. I needed to learn to clean. I think a lot of people are opposite in this industry. They know how to clean, or they've done some cleaning, and they have to learn sales and marketing. So for me, it was much easier than I think most people to make the money, but harder for me because I'm not really super mechanical. I'm not, I don't work on cars too much, things like that. So I had to like learn all of those things, the mechanics of all of this. But I like tinkering, so I like building computers and stuff like that. So the tinkering side of me just like really like fell in love with everything. So it was fun.
Yeah. So what services did you start off with? So it sounds like it was pressure washing from what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah. I started off with just pressure washing driveways, just offering pressure washing services. Didn't I learned pretty fast that you're not supposed to pressure wash a house, so I didn't do that. I remember the first, oh my gosh, the first house I soft washed. So I had this little Ryobi pressure washer that I bought used, right? This is how little I cared about equipment, or didn't put any investment into equipment. I bought a Ryobi used. It had a little reservoir on the front, and I was just dumping bleach into that with soap. And then what I wasn't seeing, so and then of course that it had the thing that connected to the pump, the tube that connected to the pump, but and it was basically running it through the pump, which of course you're not supposed to do. But what I didn't see was that the tube that connected the reservoir to the pump was broken, and because it was used. And I'm just dumping bleach all over this guy's yard, and I'm just like walking it around with me, like just like carrying this thing. And I'm like, damn, why isn't this soft wash stuff working? And I'm thinking I'm messing up, and I'm not doing it right. And then I look at the connection, and I was like, oh. And luckily I didn't like destroy the guy's yard because I was just using 4.5%, just regular household bleach instead of like the pool shock or anything. But yeah, it was wild. So I started off with pressure washing, added some soft washing on later, got a downstream injector. Then I added on roof cleaning, and now we do pretty much everything from roofs all the way down to concrete, just like literally everything, solar panels, window
Yeah.
cleaning, all that.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So if you were going to be talking to a entrepreneur that or somebody that wants to get into the business, Carlos, this could be a question for you as well. What would you say to this person that wants to get started out? Like, what would you say is a good budget, a friendly budget that somebody can get started out on? From you both, sounds like you guys both started with soft washing. For me, I started with window cleaning. So I started with absolutely nothing and just started with a squeegee and mop and a Home Depot bucket and pulled around this cart with a bucket of towels around the neighborhood and just went door knocking. Kind of like what Carl said, he went straight from Foot Locker, a retail store, and just went directly to door knocking. And for John, he sent out his son to where he see if he can make some money, and oh crap, he can make some money. So then that's what it sounds like you start your business around that, from seeing your son out there door knocking, and then he can actually successfully get some clients. But what would you say to maybe your young self, or to your kid if you want to start off a business?
Yeah,
Either of you.
man, that's a very amazing question. For myself personally, I started off with zero. I started off with nothing. All I had was a D-wall pressure washing. I didn't even have a surface cleaner, so I was
Yeah.
over here doing the wand thing, And but when and this is the importance of networking. When you start to network within your
Yeah.
competition, I started following all of the soft washer, pressure washers in my community, and we started networking on Instagram. And one of them was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about a surface cleaner?" I'm like, "Dude, what is that?" And he got me into the surface clean. So, I started with nothing. I saved. I went bigger. Let me tell you, we made six figures with my first setup. Six figures, and that took me a
That's
year
awesome.
to upgrade. It took me a year to finally upgrade. It's like, all right, guys, now it's time to put money back into our business. So then we upgraded the system, not fully. We went 2 years with the same system without upgrading. Finally, it's our third year, and we're finally running smooth. You start seeing how fast you could get houses done efficiently. We're not just running through
Yeah.
the houses, we're getting them done on a lot faster scale. So Miami Elite, we are doing 4 to 5 houses minimum per day. So Ben, I'm not sure if you've seen us on Instagram, but we're always
Yes,
posting house number one, house number two, house number three.
always. Yep,
And this is Monday through Friday, and this is not only roof washing.
yep.
We're doing from the roofs to the house washes, from the driveways to the pool decks. So how are we able to get these 4 houses done daily? Is having the right equipment. But my advice is, do not stress yourself. At first, it's going to be hard. Save some money, and most importantly, reinvest back into your business.
Absolutely. So it sounded like you just started with, was it a gas or electric pressure washer?
Uh, Thankfully, it was not electric.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, that is a tough one. But when you start off with an electric one, you could say that you've been through it all.
You've been through
Dude,
hell.
You've been through it all.
you, your Instagram is fire, man. You got some good
Thank you so
stuff.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you
That's
so much.
crazy.
his Instagram is pretty
That's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah, thank you
Dude,
so
check
much.
them out. Miami Elite Soft Wash. Whoever's not following you, I'm hitting the follow button right now.
Absolutely,
Booyah.
man.
There you go. Go follow him.
And we always follow back, man. So, absolutely one of my like
Well, it's just
biggest,
like you said, it builds
happy.
the community. It's good networking between all of us pressure washers. Follow them, follow this. It's great.
We,
It's great.
Dang, I like this photo right here.
definitely.
You see the clean roof and then like the
Yep.
future customer over here. You're like,
Yeah.
That
you gotta
is
step your game
so.
up.
We have taken over communities. We have taken over blocks, over streets, because hey, who's that one guy who washed your roof, man? Like, I just pressure washed mine. Miami, well, South Florida, we have so much humidity, so the mold and the algae picks up right away. So hey, I pressure washed mine 9 months ago. You haven't washed yours in 2 years. What the heck did you do? And then
Yeah.
that's where, hey,
Yeah.
this is the guy that did it for me. And at the moment, I can honestly say that we're not running any ads whatsoever, and we still have steady, organic leads by word of mouth.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm guessing maybe that's
Congratulations,
why
man.
your website's not working.
Oh man, actually, man, that is no. My wife is actually downstairs working on it. So I just think that
Oh,
something
nice.
went wrong with the domain. Something went wrong with the domain, and she's
Oh,
trying to figure it out. She's like, "What is
oh
happening here?"
yeah.
Yeah. So my wife is the BTS, the behind the scenes, of a lot of those reels, of a lot of like the
Yes.
website. Whenever we were running ads, she was running ads. Man, Ben, that is a great call out, man. That's a great call out.
Well, I was curious. I was thinking to myself, because before the live stream, I was going to go check out your website, because I don't think I've ever checked out your website. And I was thinking, wow, maybe he doesn't need a website. Maybe he's just doing a lot of organic growth and word of mouth.
No. Definitely, as a business, small or large, a
Yes.
website is the face of your company. So, man, real quick, guys, before I forget, whoever is, thinking of opening your own business, one of the things that we did first, we paid money to get our logo, created. So you could go with the cheaper route, but for me, making sure that my logo was the marketing face of my business. I wasn't happy with a $40 logo person. Hey, we paid up to $250 to make sure that we designed it to perfection. So like epic exterior. You want to make sure that that logo, wherever they see it, it's epic. So I see a
Yep.
lot of guys where they're just photoshopping this like Google art picture, and it's the same guy holding the pressure gun. At some point you would want to
Or it's the same
revamp
house with that little that little thing
with
swoosh
house
under it.
wash. Yeah,
Yeah.
house wash, roof painting, driveway. Everybody has that one. So make sure that your logo it follows you. Like Ben always wears that shirt. Ben your van is wrapped. Like wherever I go,
Yeah.
I could be in the movie theaters. I could be at Walmart. You will see
Yeah.
me in my Miami Elite soft wash shirt.
Mm,
Yeah. I
full
know. It's a walking
dedication.
advertisement.
You are a walking billboard.
Yes, that's right. Now, can you explain to us from if somebody was going to start new, when you say roof washing, what does that mean? I already know what it means, but what if somebody was starting out new, what would you say to that? What does a roof wash entail? What does it mean?
Is that for me or John?
Well, how about John?
Okay.
Hey, um, well, we of course use the soft wash method, a very common method. Um, we so I'll give you my pitch. I'll give you the pitch that I use to close. What we do is we do what's called a soft wash. So there's guys out there that use brooms and brushes, and they use the powder. The powder is comprised of zinc monohydrate. Zinc monohydrate, they sprinkle that powder on the roof, and the thought process is when the rainwater hits, it changes the pH balance of the roof and the rainwater, which discourages moss. Doesn't really kill anything. It just discourages the moth from further growing. Soft washing is a technique where we apply a soft wash solution comprised of sodium hypochlorite, surfactant, and water to the roof with a low pressure system, typically either a pump sprayer, 12-volt pump, or a gas powered pump. We apply that to the roof, and what happens is the sodium hypochlorite is the actual cleaning agent. It's actually what kills the organics that are on the roof, whether it's Glodiocapsa algae, moss, what have you. It works really good on pretty much all surfaces: asphalt, shingle, concrete, tile, things like that. Because it's carried with water as well. It gets into all the nooks and crannies, and it really penetrates the surface and gets into all those little pores. That surfactant, the only job for the surfactant isn't a cleaning agent. It just keeps the surface wet so that the sodium hypochlorite can keep being active. Once sodium hypochlorite dries, it breaks down into a salt, and it's completely biodegradable. So that's what soft washing is. It kills everything on the roof so that it stays cleaner for a lot longer. For a roof to get moss on it or growth on it again, new spores have to deposit. They have to go through their seasons, and they have to take hold, and they have to grow. That takes anywhere between 3 and 5 years. So when I tell customers, do you want the guy that's going to brush off your roof and put the powder on it and it'll last one season? You're going to pay 50% my cost, or you pay double the cost, but it's going to last 3 to 5 seasons, and it's going to be better for the roof in the overall. So a roof that's rated for 25 years is going to last 25 years with the soft wash solution.
Yeah.
A roof that's constantly being brushed all the time is it's going to age it prematurely.
John,
Yeah.
let me
Boom.
ask you something. John,
the
that's
pitch.
amazing, man. John, let me ask you something because here in South Florida, Miami, we don't have the use of the brooms. We don't have any moss. So when it comes to soft washing with moss, how does that work? Would you still have to soft wash and then broom, or just soft wash and the moss goes away on its own?
All right.
This was going to ask because I've seen guys that broom it, the big chunky stuff, and then
Yeah,
You
that's. I
know.
mean, we don't deal with that whatsoever.
All
yeah,
right.
we don't
So,
either.
so this is like a controversial topic here in the Northwest, because so if you look online, by far the content creators are in warmer, drier climates, hotter climates, or drier climates. So it's Florida, Georgia, Texas, things like that. There's not a lot of content creators in the Northwest. I have a YouTube channel that I put together some stuff, but there's not a lot of content creators. So when I first started soft washing, I'm Southeast soft wash. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just spraying this up there, leave it, and it's gonna die and come off. And that's not what happens all the time. So we get moss up here that look like some like prehistoric stuff. Like this stuff, you feel like there's a dinosaur roaming around. Um, it's like super mossy, or you'll get like these little small bits of moss. But there's a lot, and that's pretty much all we get. We get black algae or Gliocaps magma, but nobody calls us for that. Nobody calls us for the discoloration like they do in other areas. They call us because there's moss on their roof. So with that, there's a couple ways of doing the cleaning. I have been a little bit more vocal on my process recently with guys up here, just because. Okay, so I'll bring you through the steps of what I did, and so when I explain what happened, you'll have the context. What I did was I soft washed the roof. I put the chemical on the roof, and no matter what it was, and I said, yeah, it's gonna die and fall off over a couple weeks. Okay, so I would get a call. Customer says, hey, it's not off of my roof. I would go back, I would see that it's still there, and I'd be like, okay, so I'll do another treatment. I think this one house I treated like 4 or 5 times, just thinking I got to do this. And then I think eventually I ended up giving him his money back because I didn't know what to do on it. There was other customers where it did come. Most of the customers did come clean, but there were some that I had to just refund because I just didn't have an answer for it. I reached out to people, and this is where you're talking about elite soft wash, networking. So then I'm hearing, oh, you need to brush it. I'm like, okay, I thought that's kind of not what we're supposed to be doing. So I get up there and I tried a bunch of different brushes. I tried I see what was popular was like this wire brush. It's like a roof wire brush. I use that. I use the yellow brushes, the stiff brushes. I use probably about 10 different brushes just to kind of feel out. And I'm like, man, this is one, it's a lot of work, scrubbing these roofs. Two, they're coming good. They look good when you brush them, but as soon as you add that SH to it, now you see all the little moss bits again because the brushing only gets it so clean. And then I was like, okay, it was a better result, and I was doing that for a little bit. And I just didn't. I wasn't happy with it, and then I didn't have a big value proposition against other competitors that were doing brushing, and because we're both like kind of aging the roof by brushing it, and then I'm just making the moss not happen longer. And either way, so then I stopped brushing again, and I just only did soft wash. I only took jobs that I could only soft wash. Anything I couldn't just soft wash, and I wasn't confident that I would get, I referred to other people because didn't know what I was doing. So I came across, or I kept on losing jobs to people because I was saying, yeah, the moss is going to take 4 to 12 weeks for it to die and completely fall off. And they're like, oh, well, I need to sell my house today. And I'm like, ah. So I would lose jobs to the guys that would brush it and put the powder on the roof. I was losing tons of jobs to those guys. So then I came across a roof where it was a weird scenario. It was a roof that the guy needed the roof cleaned so that he could refinance the house so that he could replace the roof. So I was just cleaning it to satisfy the bank. So I asked him, I said, hey, I have some other ideas and some processes on cleaning the roof. Do you mind if I get up there and try some stuff? He goes, yeah, there's no problem. There was like this overhang, couldn't do any damage to it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try a bunch of different methods. So I tried a bunch of different methods, and what I settled on, what I like the most is I actually use an M5 or a soft wash suitor tip to rinse the roof. So on a hot day, I will rinse first. I will use a shooter tip, a wide mouth shooter tip that relieves the pressure. So it's not like, I'm not red tipping this thing. It's something where, I can put my hand in front of it and I can shoot it. And it won't hurt my hand. So, and I don't get too close to it. So I use that to rinse the roof, and then I treat it. Most of the moss is gone and the customer's happy. And I'm very confident I can say the rest will die, fall off within 4 to 12 weeks. I go back to those roofs. They look stunning. On cold days or wet days like today, what we did was we rinse the entire roof first. We treat the entire roof first because the moss is a little bit wet and loose. Like when it's dry, the moss just pops off, right? When it's wet and loose, or when it's wet or cold, it needs to die first at the root. So first I treat it and then I do a rinse. So that's what I've done. Other people in the Northwest have kind of stumbled on this method too, and we're getting a little bit more. This method is becoming more prevalent, and we're sharing this method. I think all of us were afraid to announce that we're rinsing this roof because we didn't want this idea of like, you're pressure washing the roof. It's like, we're not. So I also did a thing too. I had another roof opportunity where I was able to kind of like do whatever I wanted with it, and it was basically like a shed or something that was going to get torn down. And I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I clean that roof?" He goes, "It's going to get torn down." I was like, "Yeah, I just want to try out some stuff." So on that one, I said, "I want to see what the granule loss is like." Right? That was the thing that I was like looking at. So I brought all the brooms out again, and I brushed the roof, and I captured all the granules that came off, and it was a lot of them. Like just from like the yellow brushing or just a regular stiff wire brush, it was a lot of granules. I was like, holy shit. Then I tried my rinsing method, barely anything, right? And I was like, okay, this is. So I didn't do it just one time. I did it on both sides of the roof. I did it on I rinsed the area. I looked at it too. I was like, okay, maybe that area here had a lot of loose granules. So I rinsed both sides, just like kind of drowned them with water, got all the loose granules off. Then I brushed it. Then I rinsed it on the other. So I did all these different steps. And what I found personally was that rinsing the roof, targeted rinsing of the roof like that gets the best results. So that's my method for removing moss. I use a low pressure nozzle to where I soft wash first and then rinse if it's cold and wet, or if it's dry, I rinse first and then I soft wash.
That's great.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
That was a lot. Is there anything that you want to add, John, to our conversation? We have a couple other guests that are waiting to join. This is just a basic discussion of how to start from zero. Is there any last feedback that you want to give as far as starting from zero?
How crazy can I get on this thing?
Well, I mean, like, how about this? Give us the good budget of what.
Okay. All right. I'll answer.
Like, okay.
I'll keep it tight then, because
Okay.
I have some weird views on this kind of stuff. But okay, let's say good budget. I would say this. I think I'm sorry, man. What's your name? Miami Elite Softwash?
Carlos.
Carlos, excuse me. I want to refer you to your name. Thank you, sir. I think Carlos kind of hit the nail on the head when he talked about equipment. I've mentored a lot of guys in this industry at this point now, dozens, and I tell them all the same thing: grow into your equipment. Do not like it. My biggest pet peeve in this industry. I have two pet peeves in this industry as far as guys in this industry. So if you're watching this, don't be this guy, right? Number one, don't be the guy that's closed off to learning. Okay, that's closed off to learning sales, learning marketing, learning about pressure washing, learning about soft washing. I've been doing this now for a while. I have seen literally everything. There's nothing that surprises me anymore. But I'm never closed off to learning. If somebody has some information for me, I want it. I want to be an expert, and I try to consume as much knowledge as humanly possible. So never be closed off from learning. I don't care if you're doing this for 50 years. There's somebody new. A new guy, 18-year-old, will tell you something new, and you'll be like, damn, that's cool. That's going to make the next, however many years I'm doing this better. So always keep your mind off to learning. Number two is don't be the guy that goes out and buys a $30,000 truck, that goes out and spends $30,000 on a nice shiny rig because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you're sitting there with your nice shirt and your nice hat and your nice business cards, and you're sitting there and you're waiting for the phone to ring because you didn't do any of the necessary things that you need to do to grow your business. And I know you said your website's down, but I mean, you're doing 4 or 5 houses a day, so this is no knock toward you whatsoever. You've got a killer Instagram, but do the basic things to get your business up and running. Get your social media going. Get your website going. Get some business cards. Be dynamic with your business cards. Get those out all the time. I started with $1,000 of equipment. I landed a Chick-fil-A. I landed a Chick-fil-A with a Ryobi, like as a weekly cleaning. And so this is a mantra. This is a mantra that I live by, or that I don't live by this. I have to remind myself this. More has been done with less. We get into this state of, oh, I can't be this business owner unless I have this, or I can't get to this level unless I have this. No, more has been done with less. People have built pyramids with hand tools. You can build $1 million business with nothing, with way less than you think. Start small, grow into your equipment. So when you say an initial budget, I think everybody, no matter the market, you need to go and get yourself a 4-gallon a minute pressure washer. Okay. And this is something that people don't think about. Make sure you can lift it, right? Make sure you can take it on and off a truck or on and off a van. If you can't lift, don't get a belt drive or anything like that. Those are going to be too heavy. It's going to hurt your back. Get a 4-gallon a minute pressure washer. That's going to cost you about $800 to $900 or $800 to $1,200. Okay. Get yourself a 200 feet of pressure washing hose, 100 feet of garden hose, a downstream injector, a 5-gallon carboy, a 5-gallon what is it called? Gas tank, a couple bottles of Pool Shock, some Gain detergent as your surfactant, works great, or Kirkland Free and Clear laundry soap, that works great. An X-Jet so that you have the ability to do stucco and roofs if you want to do that. A good ladder, and that's really it. That's in a surface cleaner if you can afford it. So under $2,000 is the target, I think, for a good budget for equipment to get started. You're not so deep. $2,000 is not so much money that it's going to break you. You know, like you're not trying to. I see guys, they put it on the Facebook graveyards. You know, they put, oh, I paid $30,000 for the skid. I'm asking 28. No,
Yeah.
no, nobody should buy that. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Those skids are for people like Miami over here that are rolling. They need to add on another crew, or they need to, solidify what they're doing a little bit better. They need to improve efficiency. That's what those skids are for. I've seen too many people make those mistakes. They overinvest in equipment. $2,000-ish is where you should start. You should be booked out 2 weeks. You should have a helper, and then you make some upgrades to your equipment, not before.
That's great. Well, I appreciate, John, for you coming on, and we'll for sure have you on as a guest as another time where we can discuss other things about pressure washing, but we really want to hear people's views on how to start from zero, So we appreciate you hopping on.
Absolutely. No worries. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you.
All right, John.
All right, Carlos, what is your point of view on starting from zero? Like you said, you started off with just a gas pressure washer. Now, when you say a wand, what does that mean?
The wand, the pressure washing gun. Yeah. So I will make this quick myself, man. It has been a journey, and I think that John hit it right on the head with every single advice that he gave me myself. Like I said, I started off with a 4x6 trailer, exactly what he said, a 4-gallon per minute machine, and I was just looking for work. I wasn't trying to be the big guy with a big rig. And by the way, man, there was always those intimidations. There was guys that would be like, "Oh, you would never get that job. Look at your rig." And look at me now, man. Well, look at us now because we are a team. We are Miami Elite. So,
Yeah.
man, fun fact. When you go onto our Instagram, the first pinned video is our first major commercial contract. And that
Wow.
contract, we got it exactly 1 year after starting our business. We
Wow.
don't even know how, you know, it came from a Google phone call, and this is the
Mm.
importance of Google reviews. We have 5 stars on Google, and we've only done it for a year, and we get a call, somebody wants to bid, and we just gave our bid, and we just did it in faith, and we're like, man, it would be so cool if within 1 year we could get this huge major, it's a retirement center for the elderly
Wow.
people, and it's 4 stories high. And we're like, wow, man, like look at this, like we just got this huge building. So that's the point where we decided to upgrade our, our equipment. We're like, all right, 1 year of doing residentials led us to this point, to where now we can upgrade our equipment. So one of my like last advices, man, is do not stop door knocking. um
Yes.
if you have door hangers, that's fine. I kid you guys not, I've passed out over 5,000 flyers. Maybe I've gotten
Wow.
20 phone calls from flyers. So out of 5,000, 20 phone calls. But let me tell you something, those people do not throw them away. A lot of people keep them somewhere, and at some point they're gonna need you. You see what I mean? But
Yeah.
door knocking has always been my best friend. Do not get scared of the word no. Take
Yeah.
no as an opportunity. Hey, man, what did I say wrong that I didn't catch, their attention? And I would love to come back on here whenever we have the like door knocking topic or ways to get free lead, to share with you guys all of my techniques and what I say to lock it down. So,
Yes.
man, it has been amazing starting from zero, and we are
That's
here now.
fantastic.
We're going on onto our third year. We're rocking, we're rolling, and we're not looking to be number one in South Florida. We're just looking to be one of the best in South Florida.
Yeah. Great. Well, I appreciate you, Carlos, for hopping on and telling
Thank
your
you
side of
so
the
much,
story.
Ben. It has
I'll
been a
see you
pleasure, Ben.
on Instagram.
Let's do it, baby. Wash on.
Okay, see you later. Yes. All right, guys. Well, we have one more guest on our live stream today. He is well known in the window cleaning community. And so we'll go ahead and bring him on. Byron, how's it going?
Very well, thank you, Ben.
Oh, your audio. Do you want to? It's very glitchy.
Okay, let me try and open these out.
Maybe is it the AirPods or earbuds?
Yeah, sometimes they're not the best.
I don't know. Maybe is it going off your phone audio?
Yeah, now.
No.
Just take them off, hang them.
So as we are waiting for Byron to fix his audio, he is actually a window cleaner, as well as I am. So we'll be discussing with him on how we start off with window cleaning. Oh, now you're muted. Are you on your computer?
Here we go. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Much better.
I'm still quite old school with this, with the technology, as you can tell by the color of this thing.
I know, right, mate? How's it going?
Yeah, very well. Yeah. I've just finished a little bit of a training session this morning, as you can probably see from my shirt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to chat with you guys. Starting from is a bit of a tricky and sometimes it can be overwhelming process.
Yeah.
Young guys too, even for the older
Yeah.
guys that change into it and start into it. So yeah, hit me up with any questions you'd like to throw my way.
Yeah. So let's say there is this, let's say 20-year-old, because I started as 15. It's kind of a unique age for somebody to start off as a business owner or get into looking into window cleaning. But as a 20-year-old or 18-year-old that is maybe right out of high school and wants to start a business, he doesn't want to go to college. What window cleaning tools would you say is a good start off to get with window cleaning? What do you think this person should have? You know?
Always the best place to start is the basic tools.
Yeah.
I think that any apprenticeship, anything you're wanting to get into is the basic tools. However, sometimes those basic tools can inhibit your growth if you get too used to those basic tools.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, the mop and the squidgy, I started with that, but I soon got rid of the mop. The mop inhibits, I believe the mop inhibits your efficiency. So you want to go, you really want to try and start with a combination tool if it works with you, because you will eventually want to change to a combination tool, which means done, a good couple of years before you change to a more efficient tool. I would suggest start with that efficient tool straight away. So it's a combination of switch. There's a market at the moment. None of them are perfect.
And when you say combination tool, what does that mean? For the people that don't know what that means.
Combination tool is two tools in one. So you've got the squidgy combined on the same tool, which means you're washing and squidgying with the same tool. This hand, your dominant hand does most of the work. It leaves your undominant hand free to run a blade, to run a bronze wool, to run your cloths, to run your seal brushes. It does its own job. So you're not just washing with these two hands. Is that there's different, like I said, there's different types on the market. You choose which one. You take a couple of years to work out which one you like the best. So I would suggest that. I would suggest a water bottle, not a bucket. Buckets to me are sloppy, heavy,
inefficient.
Yeah. Move to a bottle. You can use buckets if you're doing a big commercial run of shop fronts, for example. But then you still got to be careful with too much excess water. I know some guys that do buckets and they carry a mop, an actual mop, janitor's mop, because they've got to clean up the water that's left behind. I would, and there's processes I can talk with you when we're next on about efficiency.
Yes.
So combination tool, a bottle on a belt, not a bucket. A very, very slim and maximum 2 tools BOAB. You can get these great things that carry 100 tools in it, and you will be tired. It's heavy. You won't have that muscle memory because you've got too much going on inside this BOAB. Hang on a second. Bud, be there in a minute. Sorry about that. Mrs. is calling me. Be there in a sec. So you're going to have going on in that. So when you're starting off, you really want to be minimal as possible. So that means tools. You can have 3, but the third one will go on your belt, not in your BOAB. Bottle on a belt, couple of two tools, and you want a microfiber to clean up, so a wet one, and then you want a polishing detailing rag, a glass fiber or a grey scrim, and that. So one on the wet one goes on your left side because that does all your dirty work, your hard work, scrubbing up, cleaning up wet mess, the scrim tool goes on your right side, because you're only going to scrim once you're scrim at the same time with your squidgy, because that's not in line with the process.
Yeah.
With those things, and you really want a pole. You're going to start with a small pole. Work.
Yeah.
Pole, but
a good trad pole.
Trad pole, yeah. The Trad 4 is perfect size to start, but that won't get you up to the rake windows, we call them here in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you maybe want to get an 8 rather than a 4 foot. 4 foot is great if you're going to do let's say shop fronts. 4 foot is fantastic. Stays within your personal space. The 8 foot can go outside personal space. So when you're squidgying down, you can be knocking people over. In the house, you could be knocking vases over. A wall, and you've got a balustrade, glass balustrade. The bigger pole won't get between. I say that because when I'm outside a house or when I'm doing commercial work, the squidgy barely leaves the pole. Basically, from top to bottom on the pole. That's where the combination tool comes in great. You're not taking the mop off and putting the squidgy on. That's losing time. So this is where, as a starter, when you're starting up, you want to try and start closer to where you're going to finish, and you won't know how to do that unless you've got a mentor, or you can watch some YouTube channels, or you've got to go out. This is the beauty type of thing here. So I hope that helped there. So minimal, but try if you can, if you're starting. You do need a bucket, but that's for washing screens, not for washing glass. You also want to get a vacuum cleaner, a wet and dry tracks. That a lot of people don't do tracks, and they will swear black and blue. Oh, we don't do tracks; they're too hard, they take too long, etc., etc. If you're cleaning someone's car and you don't sort of polish the rims up, you've cleaned everything from top to bottom, and the rims are dirty. It literally takes you a few more minutes to run the water over those rims, polish them up, and it just goes ping. Same with the tracks. Okay, the first clean, if it's really dirty, the first clean is going to take you a while. But let's face it, we're in the window cleaning industry. When it's residential, that customer will become a regular. But the first clean may well be bad. But from 3 monthly or 6 monthly or even 12 monthly, the tracks will never be as bad as that first time. So you can charge cleaning the first time will be horrible. From then on, it's go to my YouTube channel, and I've got a really good video on how to clean window tracks for the first.
And what is your YouTube channel?
Pardon?
What is your YouTube channel for somebody that wants to watch your YouTube videos?
YouTube channel is Modman, as it sounds, MODMAN, Window Cleaning Workshop.
Great.
Jump on.
And actually, we'll actually have Byron on March 6th talking about efficiency of window cleaning. So he will actually be going through the efficiency of window cleaning from beginning to end. What efficiency with water fed pole, efficiency with traditional work. So we'll have him on again for sure. So
So the other thing for the starters, this is from starting from zero. One more thing. Don't expect too much. Don't beat yourself up. If you hear a lot of guys, they've gone from 0 to 4 trucks on the road in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It took me 3 years to get efficient, to get to the point where I'm happy with the tools I'm using, because you'll use a tool and you'll go, oh, I'm not. What if I use this? What if I did that? You're second guessing every move you make because you haven't put that system into place. You haven't learned what works for you yet, but you will. So don't beat yourself up if in 12 months' time you're still growing, you're still building, because it's going to take that amount of time. I'm a one-man band, okay? Right now, I don't want employees. Never have. If my son, that's a different story because it'll be a family business, but I don't want employees. So all what I'm talking from a one-man band, and when you start up, guess what you are? A one-man band. When you first start. 10 employees with 5 trucks and, $1 million contracts. If you're that type of person that can do that, if you've been in management your whole career and now you're changing into window cleaning, yeah, you can do that, absolutely, because you've got that mindset, how to. You're a young bloke in your 20s, you haven't got that managerial experience yet, unless you're born with it, which is 1 in a million. So start small, don't yourself up, get out, get magnetic cards, because I go back to customers now. I've been in window cleaning over 15 years now. I go back to some old customers still, and they still got that magnetic card on their fridge.
Yeah.
Amazing. Also do your paper. When you're at a job, I'm talking a lot sort of residential here. We can move to commercial, but as a 20-year-old, starting residential is better. Okay, you've got public problems. You've got talk to management. You've got management to talk to get into these centres. You've got all sorts of stuff to sort of think about. But residential, you can be a lot low key. You don't have to wear high vis. You don't have to have this, that, and the other. Paper flyers. When you're at number 10 Smith Street, 3 or 4 doors down to the left, whack in your flyers. 3 or 4 doors, letterboxes to your right, you whack in your flyers. You can go as far as you want, but it gets tedious after a while. So half a dozen letterboxes one side, half a dozen the other side, go in your flyers. That way you're keeping your growth area tight. When you do start out, you kind of go anywhere and everywhere. You can be driving an hour for a job because you need to work. If you can keep it as tight as possible, once you start to get repeat business, and this is a business where you get repeat business. You're not like a bricklayer. You built the wall, you build it once, you never see that customer again, unless they oh yeah, I know a bricklayer. But you never go back to that same customer again, very rarely. Window cleaning, we're going back every 3 months, every 6 months. So you don't want a huge area. You don't want to be busting. You do when you have to, but eventually you will pull that area in as tight as you can to your area where you're sort of 20 minutes to 30 minutes is your area. So saying that, go where you have to go to build your business, but try to keep it tight as possible. So there you go. We covered some tools, covered some flyers. With the commercial side of it, start with the small shop fronts. They can be annoying, but you have to start with the annoying. You're not going to start with a 3-year-old. You don't do shop fronts anymore. Now you do the office buildings, okay, where you can make some more money in one place. But you've got to start small. You've got to start somewhere. Again, keep your tools. I used to start with a trolley. I had this trolley with my bucket of water, the tools hanging off of it. I'd keep a wet floor sign hanging off of it, and it was good, but it would drive me crazy. Up and down steps, you're rolling it. I didn't need all that stuff. In the end, I didn't need all that stuff. All I needed was in every office building, in every shop front area, there's lunchrooms, there's toilet facilities, there's drinking fountains. All you need is, technically, if you want to really boil it down, if you're doing shop fronts, All you really need is one water bottle, squirt bottle, and one jar of concentrate dishwashing liquid. Once you've finished your squirt bottle, you tap, they're everywhere. Fill it up, squirt in your concentrate, and you're back in business again. You don't need to carry these big buckets of water that are actually in that circumstance a liability for people to trip over.
Yeah.
So, and that's that's my little thing. Couple of get wet signs. Wet floor signs are a must when doing shop fronts and things like that. You've got to keep the customer where you're working. Number one, wet floor. Number two, your poles swinging around. Try and hit them up with, if it's like a hairdresser, try and get the mirrors as well. Mirrors are so simple, especially with this new tool that we're developing. You'll do a mirror like that with no drips. So you want to hit that up again when you're doing shop fronts. Always ask the guy next door, because when you're starting up, you've got plenty of time. Time is on your side when you're starting up. Always go from door to get the next one. Don't start too cheap. Don't bring your prices down too much. Get onto your Facebook groups, going rate is, because us, all window cleaners, don't want the prices to be driven down by the guys just starting up. We would rather you keep your prices high. It's going to take you longer anyway. A 1 hour job for a professional will be a 1 hour job, obviously. Let's just say $100 an hour job. For a learner, just keep it at $100, but it might take you an hour and a half. All right, it might take you 2 hours, but that will slowly come down. So don't think you're not worth that $100. Just take your time, get the job done. You're on $50 an hour because it's going to take you 2 hours. That's fine. You will eventually pull that in. So you're pulling your time in. You're not dropping your dollars. And as you pull your time in, your dollars go. That's the beauty about window cleaning. I think get faster and faster. When you get faster and more efficient, that's when your dollar rate increases. So find out what the going rate is around the place. Stick to it. Even go higher. You can always bring it down. That's the thing. If you go and do a quote and you say, okay, Mrs. Jones, it's going to cost $300, and she goes, oh, you know what? I'm just going to talk to my husband. So look, we can bring it down. But if your budget can't handle that, we're a compassionate company. We can bring that down to say to $250. Will that be better? You can always bring the price down. Start with what the going rate is, or even a little bit higher. You can always bring it down to suit the customer's budget. Don't beat yourself up. That's the message. We're going over time, probably here a little bit, Benny. So starting from zero, keep your tools minimal, find yourself a mentor, get out on the street. If you have to get a part-time job doing something if you've got something I started off gardening. All right, I was a gardening handyman. One of my customers said, "Can you clean my windows instead of mowing my lawn?" I said, "Not a problem. Have you got one of those squidgy things?" She pulls out the one that you clean the service station one where you clean the windscreen, right? She pulls one of those out of a bucket and puts it in a bucket of detergent. So I did her whole house with that. Can't remember how it turned out. Obviously, it would have turned out absolutely horrible, but she loved it. She paid me. I didn't start at the lawnmower up. I didn't get dirty. I wasn't out in the sun. She didn't say, "Oh, you missed a weed." It is great. She absolutely loved it, and it would have been a terrible job. So from then on, I went, right, I'm going to drop off my gardening job slowly. Over a 3-year period, I dropped off my gardening work and I picked up the window cleaning work. So you guys that a 20, you know something. So you have some skill. Get a part-time job doing that, slowly but surely.
Slowly build it up.
Jobs, yeah. So I'm just, this is starting from zero thing, so I'm not talking about anything big end. Even if you're even like 50, you know something, you have a trade. Start part-time in your trade, but and then just start popping in some stuff. Because when you're 50, you've got mortgages, you've got kids, you've got stuff to do, you've got expenses. So you can't just bang one unless you buy around. And you don't want to go the franchising route. You don't want to go franchising route with window cleaning because, like I said earlier, we're not a service industry that does the job once. Once you've got your customer, you've usually got that customer for life, and it's every 3 months, every 6 months. So you don't need franchising fees and companies pumping you jobs when you're already full. In the beginning, it's great. In the beginning, that's great. Oh, yeah, another job. Yeah. After a while, full. If you want to stay a one-man band, that's just fees and leads that you don't want. I don't even advertise anymore. I don't have a sign on my van. I don't have company shirts with numbers and logos because, like I said, a one-man band. You guys want to grow your business, and that's absolutely brilliant. If you do want to grow, you are a walking billboard. There are some guys out there that want to stay a one-man band, really happy just being a one-man band. Yeah. But I am full. After 15 years, I'm full. I have my customers, I have my regulars, I have my commercial work, I have my residential work. So I don't need anything else, and that suits me just perfectly. So starting from scratch, you don't have to be $1 million business overnight. Take your time. Don't find a mentor. Minimal tools. If you have to start off a bucket and do it. Okay, most guys start with mop, squidgy, bucket. Just do it if that's what you have to do. You can get the cheapest tools. You can buy tools at Bunnings or wherever your hardware store is, but don't get their rubber. Always buy the rubber window cleaning specialist stores. The rubber is the most important part. You go, a lot of customers say, oh, I need to get one of those tools that you've got. I said, doesn't matter about the tool, honestly. For a professional, it does because you're using them day in, day out. But for a householder, the tool doesn't matter. It's the rubber. Rubber. It's always got to be nick-free. It's got to be sharp. It's got to be really, really good quality rubber. Otherwise, you get streaks. So that's enough. We've already gone 15 over.
Yep. and I got Perry on the back end texting me like, hurry up. But it sounds like you also got a get together with Peter. Sounds like
today we have, yes, we've got a get together in Fremantle. Most of you guys.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He says, hurry up.
Down there and have a Perth meetup. Some window cleaners down there. So.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Byron, for hopping on, and we will be talking with you on March 6th on efficiency on window cleaning.
Absolutely, yeah. Look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, mate. All right, guys. Well, you guys have heard it from how to start from zero. That is the end of our show. We thank you for coming on live with us. We will be live again every day, Monday through Friday, starting back on Sunday. But we will be live again tomorrow with a new topic. Join us live at 7:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will also love suggestions and topics from our viewers, or if you want to hear a topic that we haven't talked about, please send it to us via Messenger. But we're always doing new topics. So as our tradition, we're putting 2 thumbs up. Let's see. They're not working. We usually have fireworks. It's not working. But we appreciate everybody joining live with us today. We thank you, and we will see you next time.
I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you.